Alright, so today we're going to be reviewing these Motor Trend mats from Amazon. I just want to show you the box here. It's nondescript, that's how it'll come at your door. It's not very big, just brown, has no markings on it. And the reason I decided to go with these, as you can see, I got the beige ones. Not for any particular reason, just because they were cheaper on Amazon. These were $25. The black and grey ones, like they show on here, those ones were like $31, $35, I think, for the black and the grey. But I decided to get these because the mats in my car, they're not very big. I got the very cheap ones, you know, from Walmart, and they don't cover. Here, I'll show you real fast how this works. So I got these wee ones here, and the truth is, they don't cover. You know, the mat around there gets very dirty on its own, even with those mats, and they were very cheap. But I decided it was time to go with something better. So I looked around, and of course, everyone always recommends I'll move that by a wee bit. So everyone always recommends the ones by Husky or the Husky or WeatherTech ones, but you know, they're $120 or $30 or $40 or $50 or $200 depending on what kind of car you have. And I said, you know, I'm not going to spend that. It's too much. It's too much. So I got these on Amazon because they looked like they were the biggest ones for sale. Honestly, I was looking at the measurements, and it seems that they were big and they would cover the whole floor. And I think that actually works because they provide fantastic coverage, and so that's the cover there. It says odorless. Interestingly, there is a wee bit of a smell. There is a wee bit of a smell, but it's more like, honestly, it smells like new car smell, which may in itself be a benefit. It's not a strong plastic smell, but it's a bit of a new car smell. And just real fast, I'm going to show you the dimensions on these, in case you're wondering if it'll fit your car. So those are about 18.5 inches on the front there. These are the rear ones. I also wanted one that would cover the middle hump in the car, and I'd say about half of these do, half of them don't. You have to look for the ones that say 3-piece, not 4-piece. And then the middle of the hump there, 14.5, and then the same on that side. And then lengthwise, let's see what that means. And then lengthwise about 57 inches there, so you can figure out if it'll fit your car there. That's for the rears. The front one here. And let's see what that's running. So the front one, $31 inches about long, and then about 23 wide. So like I said, I went with these because they were the biggest ones I could find. And they do provide good coverage. So the idea behind this, you can see that at the edges they have these lines. The idea is you're supposed to cut it to better fit your car, and that's the idea behind that. They have it on all the sides, but I would prefer not to, just because I want more coverage. So after using these for a few days, the first thing I noticed is the beige ones, they do discolor a wee bit. This can be washed off, but this is just the black from normal shoe wear on there, which is the whole point of the mat. And so that's the one first downside I've seen. In terms of the material, it's very soft. It's no stiff, but it's not quite like rubber. You know, rubber is kind of hard. You can't bend it. It kind of reminds me of, I can't think of anything quite like it, but it's not very stiff, but it looks like it'll stay in place simply because of the size. So to give you an idea of the size, I have it in the front of the car here. So this is how I have it in the front, and this is completely uncut. Hey-oh, completely uncut. That's how it fits in the front of the car there, and it covers the pedal thing, which I actually like. A lot of people cut that part out, but I like it being covered. But it seems to stay in place better just based on the fact that it covers the entire well, just like a WeatherTech mat. And then that's kind of what I was looking for. I want a little coverage on the sides, just like a WeatherTech or a Husky fitted mat. But I'm not going to spend $150 on those. So alright, let's go ahead and stick them in the back and see what that looks like. So as I mentioned before, the whole benefit of this is the hump in the middle, it has to be covered because people put their feet on there and then you can't clean it for the life of you. So you see, if we throw that down there without cutting it at all, it covers the sides of the hump there. Let's see. Stick that in and we'll get that all set. And so there's the mat in the back, and you could fiddle around with this some more and, you know, cut the edges. But I think, you know, as I said, I wanted this to be coverage like a WeatherTech or Husky mat, but without the hefty price. And so I'm just going to leave the edges on. I also think it keeps it in place, and I can work on that edge a little bit. But it really does cover the whole thing. And that's kind of what I was looking for, because those carpets, they're hard to clean. All right, let me show you the front one now. So here's the front mat, just to give you an idea of placement. Just stick that under there. You kind of slide that a wee bit up like so. You cover the sides a wee bit. And there you have it. So I think the front coverage is almost perfect, quite frankly. It just completely fills the well. Oh, and this is a Toyota Prius, by the way. So I think a fairly standard configuration. I would say size wheel well, you know, for a mid-size car, you know, mostly what's sold in the United States. But man, it really does fit the front well. So I would say generally I like the smell. Like I said before, it does give you a new car smell, even though it says odorless. It's not a strong plastic smell. And it fits the front perfectly. And you can trim it if you want to fit the back better. But honestly, I would say that's basically what I wanted there. And you know, for 25 bucks, I'd have to definitely give these a recommend. You can find a few. There's an Amazon Basics 3-piece floor mat that covers the hump in the middle. It's about $17, but it is quite a bit smaller, and the reviews indicate that people with mid-sized cars were perhaps not entirely satisfied with the coverage. And like I said, just go for the big ones. It keeps them in place, even though these don't have a lot of spikes on the bottom. Just the fact that it's jammed in there. Honestly, they don't move around. So I say go for it. And you know, if you want to spend the extra $10, the black ones will probably last longer. You know, you don't have to wash them off as much. They won't look as dirty. But otherwise, the Motor Trend, you know, floor mats, 3-piece from Amazon, I say go ahead and get them.